Like, I'm surprised. I don't know if he wanted to make jokes about that, like, could have waited till he won his match and got on the mic and said something crazy. You know,
he seemed almost shy saying it. Like when he called into my show last week, and I'm like, I watched the OnlyFans joke. Like, you seem like a little kid who's making a joke that you're not supposed to make, and you are, but like you still seem like a sweet kid making it. He just doesn't seem to be
What's
like
this guy's name?
a hateful guy. Froggy Fresh.
He's so nice. And I was also like, when I was yelling on the Twitter space, the second one was because the night before he called me a liar like 15 times, and it was a misunderstanding. But he called me a liar, and it kind of threw me off because I felt like I felt like he changed so quickly, and everyone's like, "You changed, Harley," but they didn't see our interactions before, and he and I kind of squashed it. You know, he came on my Twitch stream like amongst dozens of people, and you know, we spoke about it a little bit. And I felt like he did. The joke seemed weird. Like I thought someone was like, "Say the joke now," you know, which was not the case. It's just him, but you know.
Do you think iDubbbz is comfortable with his wife's OnlyFans? I don't think so.
It depends how much it makes and how that money is distributed. And if he gets, what do they call it when you get like final cut approval? If it's that sort of thing. Because I think like those things would be crucial if you were going to allow something like that to like publicly go on. I think maybe some people get on board with it then. I don't like the idea of it in general, but
wait, you don't like the idea
how much
of
does it make? Are we
general?
talking about something that makes $8,000 a month or something that makes $80,000 a month or something that makes $280 a month?
I think before you even get there, you just don't know that information. You could still try and decide if it's a thing, because I think a lot of the hate is actually focused on that, and I never realized how big of a discussion and a thing like porn was in general. You know, even
I just think the idea of your like significant other being out there like that is an interesting topic, because somebody I follow and I always think about this is Gal Gadot, you know, Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a married lady with a family, but so I'm always wondering like, where's the line for her on racy? But I've seen like that girl's ass cheeks. I know, and I guess I'm sure her husband's okay with that, and she's always making out with some guy as Wonder Woman, right? Fucking Chris Pine. Mm-hmm. How different is that from her showing like 3/4 of her ass and like spreading her legs on the internet for $20 at a time, if it's adding up to about the same salary as what Gal Gadot gets?
And he might be into it. Like I say this, I had a friend in off-roading, and his wife was hot. Like, whatever. Everyone has their version of a perfect woman. She's a lot of people's perfect woman. And they were like really sexual out in public a lot. I remember he wore a t-shirt that said, "I love head." Head is a brand of ski, for skiing. And it had the ski on it, but everyone knew what it meant. And she's there in the passenger seat, and you're like, there's the person he loves it from. Okay, then. We were friends at his campsite, call it like 6 tents. You could hear them fucking at night. Like, and it wasn't subtle. It wasn't like, I hear the sleeping bag.
Could they hear you jerking off?
Probably. But it's like, you know,
that's the
fuck me, daddy, harder. Right? It wasn't like a subtle sort of like you hear the rustle. It was praise and kinky words and dirty talk and shit like that.
I wouldn't put up with that shit. I would literally like come back with, "Oh yeah, oh," like start counter groaning.
Yeah, you can do that.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's shitty behavior at a fucking campsite to like.
Yeah, you know what I find shitty about
it? You guys, but let me get to my point.
Okay, yeah. See,
so,
he doesn't want us to talk. That's not a podcast to this guy.
I don't think that's fair. I get ripped on for interrupting. Fucking 10,000 times a show. They will rip me for interrupting, right? Meanwhile, I'm in the middle of a point. We change topics. No fucking big deal. Don't do that. That's fine. Woody can shut the fuck up and take a back seat every fucking time he has a point. Woody's matter, thoughts, and they don't count. They're nothing. Nothing. This fuck is hanging. That's how we all see it. So every once in a while, I say, "Hey, I'm getting to something." iDubbbz I think this guy liked that everyone found his wife sexy. I think it increased her value to him, right? Like this is someone that everyone wishes they had, and she's mine. Maybe iDubbbz gets off on that.
No, he's
too.
talking about the camping guy when he says that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
talk about both. I'm kind
But
of making
wait,
this
so-
analogy.
yeah, I see
knew a
what you're
guy in
saying.
real life.
Yeah.
Who I'm sure dug that everyone thought his wife was so fucking sexy. And I think iDubbbz might dig it too.
And real quick to what Kyle said, where he was like, he wouldn't put up with that. I also instantly would be like, my ears aren't your prop to get off right now. Like, you guys aren't fucking there loudly so that you know that I hear it and you can get off on the fact that I know it. Like, that's not, no, I'm allowed to come watch then if I'm going to hear it. You're not,
I'm not
going to
be an accessory.
1 cent. Yeah, I want to see.
I'm getting involved. I want
Let
to
me see. Maybe I'm not even getting involved, but I want to see it if you're going to be yelling in my ear about it.
They're doing
I'm
a
going to be
form of
outside that tent
exhibitionism.
with the moon casting my shadow on you.
And they're
while
trying to force you to be involved in their exhibitionism.
people.
That's rude. And it's in the middle of a camp. You got to wake up early for fishing and stuff. And they're like, come on.
I have
my
a take.
girlfriend. It's great.
But you're probably way out in the middle of the woods, not disturbing the true campers, right?
No, I'm right there.
No.
We can always be louder.
You're in like a trailer park of it with the campers.
But so you're like Kyle, you're saying at a certain amount of income, the OnlyFans is cool.
Yeah. All right. So like
it's
Belle Delphine level, like when we're talking about generational wealth, millions a month type stuff, I think she makes around 1. I know that's a round number, but I think that's what it is. Someone told me.
It used to be
Jesus
more. Right?
Christ. And she's banging her boyfriend anyway. So it's
yeah.
Go ahead.
What if it's just like it pays for your house?
That'd still be a ton.
It depends if you're also out there.
Like how much you think your little fucking snatch is worth, Kyle? Generational wealth. What do you think?
I'm just
Kyle's a good-looking
there's
guy.
different levels to it, is what I'm
Kyle
saying.
Snatch is worth a lot. Take it from me.
Like if your girlfriend's out there making like $300 a month to like put pictures of her vagina there forever, it's like, all right, I don't think this is worth it. But if she's making $300,000 a month, it's a different story.
Yeah, it's sort of like fighting for a case.
She's
of
going
Bud
to
Light
choose that
on-
$300,000 over you.
It's like is
Like
is
90%
bum
of the
fights
time?
cool? Like is bum fights cool
99.9%
because that guy's getting paid Bud Light? No, it's not cool. That the guy boxing for $70,000, that guy is cool. Like fighting itself isn't cool or not. It's about the surrounding situation. Wow, that guy who's trained fighting is going to make $100,000 versus that guy doesn't have teeth, probably hepatitis, and he might win Bud Light.
I've seen biting in those.
Yeah, it's a strategy. You've seen the classic one where the guy is like all about the boxing and they're in that like, what is it, like LA riverbed, that shit concrete garbage. And like he gets knocked down and the guy goes from tough guy to little baby. The second the other guy starts biting off a piece of his
felony
teeth.
fights, not bum fights.
Oh, felon fights. You're right. Yeah, it's
felony
a little once you
fights is
graduate.
so much scarier. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that clip, Dick? Because the guy goes from falling back and then he goes because the guy's biting him, and the guy who's doing the biting doesn't stand up and look like a feral lunatic. He stands up like a triumphant victor of ancient battles, as though like that's what happens when you step to the king.
Jeez.
Like that's
The guy getting bit is screaming for help.
Can you fill in for Froggy Fresh and box Chris Reagan? That guy, can you find him still?
This guy would fuck up either of those people, and I don't know what either of those guys look like.
Super scary. He was a face biter, and
those people are YouTubers.
Yeah, they've trained.
Oh yeah.
They've trained in views.
I think that his honestly, this is my take on it. I think that his wife's OnlyFans is like having a wife that's like wants to be a singer songwriter, where if it's good, like you'd be happy about it. Like Woody, your story with the guy with the hot wife, or like Gal Gadot. Like, yeah, my wife
they're
shows her
divorced,
ass.
by the way.
Oh, wow. What's your number? Where's you? But like, I think that Anissa's OnlyFans is bad, and iDubbbz knows it, and that's like why it's such a raw nerve.
You don't think he's a producer? Like he doesn't get executive producer credits? He's not taking editing because he has no skills. Why would you hire someone else?
Yeah, bad like the content is bad, or bad like it's not making the money that they
the content is bad. Oh, like I think it's just like, oh yeah, I gotta like buy into this. Fuck. And
you said they got a sponsorship, something about Arby's roast beef, like
I did say that, yeah.
5 for $5.
It's a big chain.
I mean, there are people that I could meet that could make content that I'm not a fan of, but I don't give a shit. I'm like, it's my wife's. Like, you're acting like if like your wife was a painter and she was a shit painter, you'd be like, oh, like I can't bear. Like it's that's
Yeah.
her work. Maybe it's not for you, but there's people that like it, and you just
come on, there's a difference.
Is it because? But that's it.
It's the
would
nudity.
you guys?
That's
would you guys
it's-
marry an OnlyFans creator?
If it was
What
good.
level OnlyFans creator?
If she's
Is she
booming,
Tina, the snatch hoe who works at Bojangles in her
It's not
spare time?
6 figures a month. It's not six
Then
figures a
no.
month.
Then no.
Yeah.
But is it 5?
Like to me, if my wife was bringing in an extra 120K a year to take pictures in the living room, I'm kind of very happy about that. I know people will see her nipples
Will you be
and
happy about
vagina,
the edits that we make of them?
No vagina.
but I know people will see people will see her nipples in her vagina, but like Derek saw that in college. It's not like it doesn't matter. It doesn't really.
Damn, did your girlfriend get
doesn't-
fucked like Derek too?
That entire fraternity saw it. Don't kid yourself, Harley. And
But
the
like that's
football
the
team.
thing is like I mean I don't. I guess my take is this: I wouldn't have an issue marrying an OnlyFans creator if I loved them. I wouldn't. Having said that, I would not be keen on our daughter making an OnlyFans. And I
That's
don't know
gonna be a
why
hard
that makes
sell.
sense. I don't know why that makes sense.
But it does.
But that's how
it does.
that's how I feel right now as a man.
I know
with
why
no
it makes
kids.
sense.
And a man who's not married to an OnlyFans creator that he loves. I'm just saying. I look at iDubbbz, and I was a fan of iDubbbz back in the day. I loved Content Cop. I was like, yo, here's a person who's fucking destroying some people that deserve it at the time. And I see what he's doing now, and I have firsthand experience with Anissa and him. And I think everyone disagrees apparently, but iDubbbz has had a major ascension / evolution. Maybe he's not the best at communicating to his fan base that he's not the same guy, but I feel like raising $1.3 million for charity is a better legacy than saying the N-word in Tana's ear, you know, or like making a Content Cop on Keemstar or Rice Gum. I feel like this is better, and I see they do that together. And
It's
even
a lot of
though-
money.
It's
impactful.
really hard to change in social media. Like if you become known for one thing, that's all they want from you forever. You may have 2 interests. I only care about the one I
Bro.
found you on.
Yeah,
didn't
people-
Filthy Frank like totally become a singer?
he was one of the best
did?
swerves in. Yeah, he's
he
actually
was a
like
big YouTuber.
he's like
now
Lana
just
Del
sings.
Rey for men. He's like Lana Del Rey for men. I know that sounds bad, but it's actually great, and it's really fascinating. It's a really fascinating swerve on and pivot, and one of the more interesting ones on YouTube, in my opinion, of
Did y'all
people
see
that
it?
were creators.
Smug and wrong.
I think back to the OnlyFans thing. It's almost unfair to phrase it the way we've been doing it. It's like giving the lady an unfair advantage.
Really?
It's like, what if your girlfriend that you currently have wants to start one from the ground up? Like that's the real question. I think that's like a huge blanketed no, right?
What
Yeah,
if it
no,
was a
yeah.
little more private? What if she sold her underwear? Is that a better thing?
That's
I'm
well,
actually okay with
they're
selling
gonna
the
frame you for a
underwear.
crime or something.
But here's the problem, Woody. You
Hmm.
then start developing a group of people that are scary in your life for minimal benefit.
Okay, but
you
wait,
either have to you
this
go
is-
full blast or not at all.
This is what you're bringing up. This is the interesting thing, is that I like to approach stuff as everything can be a discussion. Maybe it's a really short one. She wants to do an OnlyFans. Maybe I'm the type of guy that's like, no, I don't like that at all. Just anything. I don't even want to have I don't even want to know that it exists. I hate it.
Yeah.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with you posting pics of your feet and selling underwear, but don't show your lips or your butthole. Like, you know what I mean? And you could also you can make it so that the OnlyFans is blocked in your country
Mhm.
and it's only available somewhere else. So it wouldn't be seen. This is where you guys find out that I've been jerking off on OnlyFans in Europe my whole the last 3 years.
Jerking off on OnlyFans.
I like nut in my belly and I'm like, donkey.
Then you're like, God damn it, that was a DoorDash meal I just paid to nut when I could have got it for free.